Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for the next part of my playthrough of the first encounter mission from Undaunted Battle of Britain. Now when we last left the situation, as it were, it was quite literally a sky full of planes, and as you can see everything was going a bit crazy. Just about everyone was managing to maintain their element cohesion, though. I've got to give everyone marks for that. The only exception was the two Messerschmitts of the German Yellow Group, and I think that was understandable because the leading yellow plane saw an opportunity and took it, knowing that he would cause problems by separating from his wingman. But, you know, it happens. It happens. I guess it's the nature of aerial combat. So we are going to dive back in with a new hand for both sides. The Germans presently hold the initiative and the British probably want it back. But, ooh, look at this. Look at all this loveliness. Oh dear. What can one do? I think I would want to who to sacrifice for initiative. It's a tough decision, but I like the thought as the British player of having Hurricane Red 1 take two actions, and Defiant 1 is already quite well placed to cause mischief, so I'm going to use him to try and wrest the initiative from our German opposite numbers. Oh dear, the German hand is awful. Really, really quite awful. And they have a bit of a stark choice. I think this is really quite bad. They really want to do some bolstering, but given how many discord cards they have wandering around, it might also be worth them just coordinating. The Germans are going to bite the bullet and sacrifice that card for initiative, knowing full well they're going to lose it unless they get really lucky. And sure enough, the Brits have regained the initiative. Hurrah! So, what are the Brits going to do? Well, I think Defiant One's going to have his moment in the sun. He is going to play that as a move and attack. So he is going to go 1, 2 in an insanely straight line, but what the heck? Or actually, does he want to do that? No, he's not ready to go out of range of his wingman just yet. He's only going to go forward 1. And his attack is going to be his gunner trying to pour fire into the stern quarter of the German Red 1. So the target number for the dice roll is 7, but he does get to roll 2 dice because it's an attack from the rear quarter. And he hits. Nice one, that man. So right, let's go looking for a German Red 1 card. Oh, they haven't got one. Okay, that's not good news because that means that plane is now neutralized, i.e. shot down, and the British are halfway to winning the scenario. And I did it with a Defiant. Ah, bragging rights, wonderful things. The only downside was I was keeping this wonderful hand of cards so that Hurricane 1 could make that guy's life miserable, but obviously that's not going to happen now. So I might have to have a little bit of a rethink. I don't want him to get too far away from his mate, so I'll play that for a move and a maneuver. So he's going to go 1 turn, 2. Oh, darn it. He doesn't have many good options, really. Hang on, what did I do? 1 turn, 2. Let's turn. And then for his second action, this really isn't great. At least not, it isn't anymore. I think I'll do a move and maneuver again because it's not looking very healthy. So he's going to go 1, maneuver, and 2. And I'm just doing that to bring him back into comms range with his little friend over there. So what are the Germans going to do? They're in a bit of a crisis now because Red 2, because he's lost his wingman, is pretty much always out of comms at the moment. Sorry, at the moment? No, what a contradiction. He's always out of comms. Stupid boy, as Captain Manring would say. So it's not looking great, but he does need to get out of dodge and maybe join up with his friends. Um, Yes, and also that annoying Defiant over there has pretty much all-round fire except from the front. So wherever he goes, it's going to be a bit dangerous. The other thing is with the loss of Red 1, the Germans really need to bolster. So I'm going to, or they could do with commanding really, but so many difficult choices for the Germans. I'll tell you what, let's deal with Red 2 first. That's something we can solve. He is obviously going to do a move and then a maneuver because I think his options beyond that are somewhat limited. So he's going to go 1 and 2, but he's going to stay there because hanging around in the same hex with the Defiant gives him a tiny bit of cover when someone fires into the hex. So that's him just kind of getting in the well, trying to throw the British aim off by putting as much of their own planes between them and him, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but he's flying on adrenaline at the moment. As for the squadron comms, now I was going to do a bit of coordinating, but the loss of a Messerschmitt already is slightly panicking me with my German hat on. So I'm going to use the bolster option to bring in as many cards as I can. Red 1 is obviously irrelevant now, so I'm going to bring in the remaining Red 2 card, the remaining Yellow 1 card, and one of the Yellow 2 cards, because Yellow 2 has been hanging back there doing pretty much nothing. And of course the Discord card just goes away. So that was a superb round for the British. They're very nearly there. One more German plane down and we've got this one in the bag, but I suppose it wouldn't pay to get too cocky just yet. Besides, the Germans aren't really going to allow us to get home to our airfields and brag that we downed one of them with a Defiant. That would just be too unacceptable. They're going to at least have to knock 2 of us down by way of recompense. So, new hands are drawn. What have we got? Ooh, nice options for the British. And Yellow 1 has a chance to get himself out of trouble. Sort of. What to do, though? All of these are good options. I think reluctantly, looking at these various choices, I'm actually going to use Hurricane Red 1 for my initiative because the others have stuff that... Or yes, I am. Stop dithering, boy. Make your mind up. The German hand is looking really good now. That is actually pretty superb as a combination. Although, mind you, the effectiveness of that section comms card is reduced because they're out of communications. Might actually be better to tell you what, the Germans will use that for their initiative because they would quite like to go first this turn. So cards are revealed. The Germans very much have the initiative. And Yellow 2 is going to wake up and do stuff. Now, he has a pretty target-rich environment. He is going to... I'm going to have to think a bit carefully about this because he doesn't want to over set up. He's going to start with a move and maneuver. So he goes 1, 2, oh no, 1 turn and then 2 and 3. That may look crazy, but it's a defiant. He's got no forward firing weapons, so yellow 2 doesn't care. And he's then going to follow it up by doing a move and attack. And he knows he's going to put himself out of comms with his mate again, but he thinks it's worth it, even risking that bolt from the blue, possible bolt from the blue from the defiant, because he wants to bag red 1. So he gets to roll 3 dice and he needs a 6 or better. That's quite a formidable attack. Oh, yep, and he does it. Ouch. Sorry, red 1. Let's see whether... Oh, yep, here we go. The one I used for initiative. Huh. Bet he wishes I'd played that card now. Okay, so red 1 has taken a hit. That was quite a good move from yellow 2, now that he's finally decided to join the fight. Discord card goes out the way for the Germans, and it's the British. Okay, what are we going to do? Yellow 1 is a bit out on a limb here, but I think there's a possible attack set up. He is going to move and maneuver. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. This is not brilliant. Sorry, yeah, he was going to go 1, maneuver, 2, maneuver again, I think. Now, the question is what to do with this. I was tempted to inspire him, but he doesn't really have any good targets from where he is, and he'll just end up maneuvering again. Is there something more useful I could do with this? Do you know what? I'll play it for its bolster effect, just to bring the last British yellow card into the fray. And then lastly, Defiant 2 is going to do a move and attack. And what he's going to do is just move out of the square his new unwanted German friend is in. And for his attack, the rear gunner can open fire on that one. Not a great attack angle, but we make do. He needs a 6 or better, so that's a reasonable chance. And he does it. So red 2 has to discard a card. That's good news. Every little helps. So there goes another of red 2's cards. And that is the end of the round. So I'll just draw a new set of cards for both sides. I think if the British can just keep the pressure on until they chop down another fighter, then we might be home free. But the Germans are still being quite aggressive, so let's see how this goes. Oh, nice hand for the British. And some really tough decisions because there's so much there that I want to do. All right, everybody there can do something good. But as red section is still in comms, I'm going to take a bit of a risk. I want the initiative. I really, really want the initiative back from the Germans. What are they going to do? Now, they have some good stuff happening here. Very good stuff. But the question is, what do they want to do with it? They too would quite like to keep the initiative. but it's a tough choice. Their yellow 1 needs to come back into the fight, but he's a bit out on a limb. Red 2 can make attacks already, which is quite handy for them. And then he could do with moving to an advantageous position. The only problem is if they use that as an initiative card, they will get another discord card, and they can't coordinate now because they're a man down. In that case, the Germans may just bite the bullet, use that as an initiative card, and accept that they're adding a discord. But what it does do, much to the disappointment of the British player, is guarantee that the Germans still hold the initiative this turn. So Red 2 is going to take the shot that he's been offered. He's going to move and attack. So he's going to go 1, 2. He could have attacked the Hurricane, but the Defiance and easier... Oh, wait, no, that involves a maneuver. No, move and attack. He's got to take on the Hurricane. Okay, never mind. He'll take on the Hurricane. So it's not a terribly easy shot, but he gets 2 dice, and he needs a 6 or better, so this could hurt. Oops, let's re-roll that one. Ooh, ow. Okay, yes, it does hurt. Quite a bit, in fact. So that was on yellow 2, which takes him out of my hand, irritatingly. And then the Germans bring yellow 1 up. Now he has some choices. He could either loop round that way. And actually it may be a good idea, because while doing that will put him behind a lot of British fighters. Those are Defiance, and they do have rear-facing guns. Either way, he really does want to get in touch with his colleague over there. So, okay. It's going to be a move and maneuver, and he's going to do that. So, move 1, turn, move 2, turn, and move 3. Might as well do what we can. So he's still well out of comms, but he's going to slowly bring himself back into the fight. Meanwhile, Defiant 1 is going to accept the huge gift that he has been given. He's going to move and attack. He's just going to go 1 space forward, and his gunner's going to try and shoot at yellow 2. So 6 or better. And that's a hit. So muttering darkly, yellow 2 has to dig out one of their cards and put it in the discard, the dead pile. And lastly, Hurricane Red 2 is also going to make a bit of a daredevil attack. He's going to move and attack. He's going to go 1, 2, which is a heck of a way of making sure you're still in comms. And he's going to treat yellow 2 to a head-on attack. So 2 dice, and he needs a 6 or better. Ah, and he misses. Okay, that was a very classy move, but unfortunately it did not pay off. And that is the end of the round. So what have we got happening now? So we've got... the Brits really want the initiative this time. They've a good hand of cards. Yellow 2 is perfectly set up to not only get himself out of trouble, but to make an attack on that German fighter. And even Defiant G1 could do something, although it would be a bit of a long shot. So I think, despite the huge advantages we would get from using this card in the turn, I'm going to go for seizing the initiative from the Germans, because we've got so much at stake. 1 more fighter and victory is ours. The German hand, by contrast, is absolutely horrible. They really would like to go first, although mind you, red 2 is a bit too, maybe a bit too close to. Oh no, he can still make a pretty convincing attack with that. And so can yellow 1, although mind you, no, yellow 1 will still be slowly circling round. It's not brilliant. I'm going to say that the Germans need every bit of maneuvering and attacking that they can bring to bear, despite, especially with a hand that horrendous. So unaware of what the British are putting into the initiative, they're just going to sigh deeply and know that they're losing it, but hope that the British don't have anything horrible up their sleeves, because they really need both those pilots to do something. So cards are revealed, and much to the Germans' dismay, although no great surprise, the initiative changes. So let's get the, from the German perspective, more encouraging attack over with first. Defiant number 1 is going to move and attack. He is going to voluntarily put himself out of comms with his friend. And then he's going to try a rather long-range shot at the German red 2. So he gets 1 dice, and he needs an 8 or better. That really is a long shot. And he misses. To be honest, I wasn't totally surprised by that, but it was worth trying. However, yellow 2, the hurricane, is going to go for a move and attack. And he's going to go 1 forward and put an attack in on the German yellow 2 stern quarters, which is wonderfully effective. He needs a 6 or better on 3 dice, and I'm speaking as the British, I hope he hits. And he does hit. So what are the Germans going to do? They do still have yellow 2 cards to lose, but he must be in a bit of a bad way by now. But much to the relief of the German player, the third and final British card is a discord. So what to do about this terrible situation in which we find ourselves? Well, much to his fury, red 2 has nobody in front of him. It's a pity that hurricane moved. He could have tried for another attack, but he is going to go. How is he going to do this? He doesn't want to turn too early, otherwise he'll give Hurricane Y1 opportunities. What he might do as a temporary measure is try and form up, even though he's a completely different element, with that section there. Or maybe he should come around, but then if he does that and the British have cards for Y1, that would be a bit of a gift as well. It's not easy. I think forming up on Y1 might be the best option. So he is going to go for a move and maneuver. So 1, 2, 3, and then he's going to throw in his turn. Also, hopefully give him a chance to get round the back of the British Y1. Meanwhile, German Y1, who's very much out on a limb, can only really do a move and maneuver as well. So he is going to 1, turn, 2, turn. And then he's going to go 3. He must try and get himself back into comms one way or another. He can't turn tightly enough to get on the tail of Y1, which is a shame, but he can make him nervous about his future intentions. And the other beauty of his placement is that he's out of the gun arcs of that Defiant over there. So he's found a nice safe place temporarily so he can sort himself out and ponder his next move. Or at least as much time as fighter pilots do have to ponder their next move. So, and also, I've come to the end of this round, and the German deck needs reshuffling. So hopefully they will get some options. So what have we got? The Brits have a really lovely collection of cards once more. And they would be delighted to have the initiative this turn. In fact, yes, that would be really lovely. So actually, yes, the British are going to try and hold the initiative at all costs. What about the Germans? Oh, that's a horrendous hand. And red 2, he can't really do anything. It's a really tough call for the Germans. Even if they seize the initiative, red 2's not really going to achieve anything of note this turn, but that squadron comms could be really quite useful. So the Germans are going to give away the initiative this turn. Again, probably expecting the British to keep, well, the British will keep it regardless. So they do get the satisfaction of seeing the British sigh deeply when they realise they didn't need to waste their squadron comms card. So what are the Brits going to do? Well, red 1, for starters, is going to get the heck away from yellow 2, who is sort of sitting on his backside with evil intentions. Ah, the world's moving. So red 1 is going to go 1 turn. Oh, sorry, he's moving and maneuvering. 1 turn, 2 turn. And they're still in comms, which is absolutely lovely. They're still in comms for the moment. And now I'm going to do the closest thing I can do to a coordinated attack between slightly mismatched aircraft. For my first stunt, I'm going to do a move and attack where red 2 is going to enter the same hex as yellow 2. Oh, let me just make sure I can actually do this. I'm planning to basically do another head-on attack, but this time from point-blank range. So I just need to make sure. Oh yes, I can. So okay, he's going to get close and personal with a move and attack. So he's only got the 2 dice, but his target number is a 5 or better. So let's see if this proves worth it. Oh, no, it doesn't. Should have gone to Specsavers.
Oh, no.
Okay, never mind. Meanwhile, see what I mentioned, a coordinated attack between mismatched aircraft, because for one mad second, I wanted him to actually bypass yellow 2, go straight for yellow 1 and fire. And then I was going to nudge the Defiant up and have it fire at the same aircraft until I changed my mind and decided to go for the target right in front of me. That wasn't such a hot idea, but Defiant 1 can stick to his bit of the plan. He's going to widen the gap between him and his wingman, sorry, but he is going to take the opportunity to have a shot at yellow 1 over there. So the range is 2. So he needs a 7 or better on 1 dice. Oh, this may not happen. Oh, and it doesn't. No. Okay, not the most productive turn for the Brits. Now the Germans are going to use their squadron comms for its command ability. Or actually, are they? No, they have a better idea. They're going to guide. Let's play on the certainties. So they're going to guide red 2, allow him to move and turn. And then red 2, with the benefit of their guidance, is going to move and attack. And he is going to go 1, 2, 3, come right up to them and try and hit them on a 4 or less. Oh, sorry, 4 and above, rather. 4 and above. And they do hit. It was close, they do hit. So Unfortunately, Defiant 1 suffers a casualty. So that was a good move by the Germans, and it shows they're still very much in this. So end of another round. A bit disappointing for the Brits. I was slightly hoping we'd be that bit closer to knocking down one of the Germans, but they have got something of a second wind and they're really hitting back. Also, the deterioration in our gunnery is really not helping.
Wait, how do I do that edit so good? I have never done that so good. Where I go with it.
Okay, so next round. So the British have, that's a reasonable hand of cards, and red 2 gets to go twice. Now, is it worth it? I think, given that yellow 1 isn't really in a position to do much, I'm going to use him to try and maintain the initiative. And the Germans, what are they going to do? Their echelons are still quite widely separated, so that card is problematic for them. But they do have a very powerful combination. Yellow 1 able to move twice. They can't really say no to that, I don't think. Okay. Right, they're going to accept that another discord card is going to come their way, but they really, really want the initiative this turn and they're going to go for it. So, much to the Brits' dismay, the Germans have the initiative back. And the Germans are going to... I'll get red 2 out of the way first because he's in a bit of a bother now. He has to overshoot that Defiant, so he's going to move and maneuver. He's going to go 1. He doesn't want to get stuck on the edge, so 1 turn, 2, 3 and turn. That sets him up quite nicely, I think, for mischief on a future turn. And what about Y1? Y1 is going to do absolutely devastating things to the British red 2. He's going to move and attack first. He's going to go 1, 2, and then treat his British friend to a head-on attack. So that's 5, 6, and 7, because there's another aircraft in the hex, so he needs 7s or better. Ooh, and he's hit. Ow, that was good shooting. So the Brits lose one of their red 2 cards from the hand, which hurts.
Oh no, one of my thingies fell.
And then the German yellow 1 is going to follow up by doing that again, only this time he's going to come right into point blank range. So it's 5, 6, because there's still another German fighter getting in the way. So 2 dice and 6s or better. Oh, thank goodness the German missed. Obviously, it was getting a bit too close now. So it's finally red 2's turn, but unfortunately he has no target. That is a real shame. What he's going to do, he's going to leave these 2 Germans to it now that they're having a happy reunion. He doesn't want to get too far away from red leader, so he's going to move and maneuver. He's going to, and he's wary of that German aircraft too, so he's going to go 1, turn, 2. Maybe I should... We're going to be out of comms anyway.
3, 2, 1.
No, let's stick to the plan. 1, turn, 2, turn. So red section is now out of comms. And that is the end of that round. So I think we've come to another... I'm very sorry about all the background chatter. I hope it's not proving to... We'll call it radio interference for the purposes of this exercise. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this video. A lot of exciting stuff has happened. The British are perilously close to winning this scenario, but the Germans are not going to let them have it easily. Um, as I said earlier, the Germans, in fact, seem to have got a second wind from somewhere and are busy, punching back at the British as hard as they can. Um, for one split second, when that aircraft first went down, I actually thought this would be over in about 3 or 4 turns from where we were, but it just goes to show how much I know, and also how in this game system you're never quite out till you're properly out. You can take a guess, I suppose, at which aircraft are in serious trouble. If they don't move very often every round, or if a couple of rounds or even one round passes and you notice that they haven't moved at all. One of the German yellow elements seems to have been quite badly crippled, and he may well be near the end. But my problem is needing to get aircraft onto him so that I can try and finish him off. But we'll see how that pans out. I mean, the other concern I have is, and I know this is affecting the Germans very badly, is the loss of cohesion has led to some very bad hands, which, to give the Germans credit for, they have bounced back from remarkably well. But having to voluntarily give up the initiative because you really, really need every card you can use is a bit of a painful experience. So we shall come back to this in the next video and see whether I can bring this engagement to a conclusion. But in the meantime, thank you guys again so much for joining me. It's been a really fun session. I've enjoyed every second of this, and I really hope that you have too. As always, I really, really appreciate your company. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch these videos. I appreciate all the feedback, and I'm very grateful for the comments that have been rolling in already for the previous video. I will get back to you guys as soon as I have a moment to, and I very much look forward to that. So yes, I really hope I see you all in the next one. And whoever you are and wherever you're watching from, thank you so much. It's been really great, and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Bye.